Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be telling you guys my top 5 ways I made my first 100 gold in World of Warcraft Classic Season of Discovery. So my top tip would be get a gathering profession. Definitely recommend skinning, and then it's up to you if you want to pick herbalism or mining. Personally, I think mining is going to make more money, especially in the long run when we get into next season. However, you can definitely take herbalism. Only reason I advise against it is because a lot of the high-end herbalism zones from personal experience have been flooded with bots, and it's quite hard to really maximize your amount of gold you're going to make. The reason I say that you need to take a gathering profession is because gathering materials right now are always going to sell, and that's because the waylaid supplies quests. For those, if you don't know, there are quests where you get a chest, you can bring it to someone in your capital city, and you're going to need materials to fill up. Once you fill those up, you get a lot more rep than if you were to turn in the chest without the materials in them. And that causes all materials of all shapes and sizes to be sold on the auction house instantly. All my materials sell out within, I would say, an hour of putting them up on the auction house. Doesn't matter how cheap, how expensive they are. Definitely would recommend getting a auction house add-on such as Auctionator or TSM. Definitely, it makes the whole experience a lot faster. My number 2 tip would be to find a solid farm for your class. Me as a hunter, mine was soloing the first boss of Wailing Caverns. What I would do is I would go into Wailing Caverns. I would kill the mobs, skin them, get perfect and regular deviant scales, and sell them on the auction house. I would also sell the loot that drops off the first boss to different people. So there's going to be leather legs and a male belt, and I would charge people 1 to 2 gold for per item drop. And I was able to make about 35 to 40 gold, my first 35 to 40 gold off of this farm. That kind of got me started. So I definitely just recommend going out there, searching the internet, searching YouTube, finding a farm for your class, because each class really has something they can do where they can make a good bit of gold, and it's not going to be affected by bots. My number 3 tip would be play the auction house. And what I mean by that is look on your auction house and look at items that are selling, there's a lot of them going up and going quickly on the auction house. Personally, I use the Auctionator add-on, and what I did was I went through and I looked at recipes. And I know that recipes of agility and recipes of coalescing regret were selling because people are always going to need those. People are going to need those those agility pots, and everyone's going to need the coalescing regret if they want to get their epic crafting upgrade from the raid. So what I did was I took that 35 gold, I spent it almost all. I spent 30 of it on buying these elixir recipes, and I put them on the auction house. I'm doing it again actually, so I can show you exactly what I mean. And I have 32 stacks and 36 stacks. I just put these up there. I'll let you guys know how they do. My first batch, they all sold, and I ended up making 70-ish gold. So that's where I got a big chunk of my gold. And what you do is you shop, you buy them all, then you go to sell, put them up for sale, and then what I did is I bought them all for less than 60 silver, right? And then I saw some people were selling them for like 2 gold. I put them up all for 1 gold. That is a 40 silver profit on each item. And then the coalescing regret elixirs, I put them all up for 150 gold, and I bought them all for less than 70. So that's how I made that 70 gold. And what you can do is you can do an undercut scan. So you see somebody has undercut me, but it's only 1 to 2 items. I will say with the recipes, they take a while to sell. They take about 1 to 2 days for them all to sell, which is okay. You know, you're not going to make gold instantly overnight. It didn't take me 1 day to make this 100 gold. This was a multiple week process. So on to step number 4. And this is just be frugal. You know, if you're leveling and you go on the auction house and you say, I have a couple gold, let me spend 1 gold on this green upgrade. I personally advise against it. You know, some people, to each their own. I know they want to enjoy the game. But you're going to replace these items most likely when you get to level 25. And pre-bis, to me, is a myth. You don't need pre-bis to get into the raid. The raid is quite easy. If you have a group doing it that has any bit of experience, you know, just find a guild, find some friends, learn the raid. You're going to get gear that is miles above the 99% of the items that you're going to be buying off the auction house. So just don't spend all your money while you're leveling up on upgrades, because you're going to replace them most likely when you get to 25. You can also sell most of the gear that you get. You know, if it's an upgrade and it doesn't sell for very much on the auction house, definitely equip it. You know, you don't got to sell everything you get and just be wearing like crappy greens and grays when you hit 25. That's not what I mean. But yeah, just be frugal. Don't waste all your money on the auction house. I know you want to get those upgrades, but you will get them in time. And lastly, my 5th tip is just do quests once you get to level 25, because I know a lot of you are going to be doing dungeons because they have great XP right now. So if you do a bunch of dungeons, get to 25, you're going to have all these quests open up. I did quests for a couple hours, and I was able to get well over 20 gold doing these quests. And that's because when you hit max level, there's a passive that goes into effect that makes quests give you gold based on how much XP they would give you originally. There are some quests giving up to 2.5 gold for what, 10 minutes of your time. I know you can make that gold doing something else, but it's going to be more RNG dependent. It's going to be more strenuous than just going out and doing a simple quest. And a lot of people aren't doing quests anymore, so it's not like you're going to have a lot of competition on every mob and every quest target like that. Yeah, so that's basically it, guys. It's a pretty simple video, but I just want to let you guys know that getting gold is really not that hard. I know a lot of it was dependent on me flipping stuff on the auction house. That's where I made a little bit over half of my 100 gold. But it's really not that hard, and you don't need a lot of gold. You know, once you have 100, 150 gold, you're kind of set. You're going to be able to afford your mount at 40. You're going to be able to afford your Ashenvale mount. You don't need to stress about it that much. Gold it can get you nice items, but it shouldn't be the end all be all. The main thing is to have fun, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace.